It is almost 8:15. Welcome back. It's a promise that's grabbing national attention. President Trump says most Americans could soon receive a tariff dividend of at least $2,000.
The payouts, according to the president, would be funded through his administration's taxes on foreign goods.
We want to bring in our chief business correspondent, Taylor Young. Taylor, this is a pretty bold proposal. What's going on here?
Yeah, it absolutely is, Julian. But remember, this would not be the first time an administration has given money to the American people. There were stimulus checks given out by both Trump and Biden in 2020 and 2021. But what makes this promise different is the circumstances. Right now, we know there is no global pandemic shutting down the economy or a recession, and this money would not be funded by taxpayer funds. Instead, it would be paid for by money collected by U.S. imports. But I think the concern here, though, is that like stimulus checks, there are concerns that this too would lead to high inflation that would follow that. That's exactly what we kind of saw in 2021 and 2022 and are still kind of dealing with today.
Yeah, and so the president said most Americans. Who exactly are we talking about here? And do we even have enough money to cover this?
Yeah, I think that's the big question. And President Trump kept this pretty vague. So he posted on social media a dividend of at least $2,000 a person. Not high-income people will be given to everyone. So what is considered high-income people? Is that people who make $100,000, $250,000? We really don't know. But what we do know is that according to the IRS, more than 160 million Americans filed taxes last year. So if theoretically every single one of those people were to be paid that $2,000, that would come at a price tag around $330 billion. Simply not enough tariff revenue has been collected under the Trump administration to pay that out. So we really won't know how realistic this promise is unless we know what the salary cutoff would be. Because again, is it $100,000? Because that would really bring the number of people receiving this $2,000 down.
Taylor, sometimes we joke and say, oh, that would take an act of Congress. Can the president do this? Like, is this legal?
So there are obstacles here, to put it lightly. And yes, Congress would be essentially holds the power of the purse, right? It can really be, lawmakers are the only ones that can decide how federal money is spent. While a president can, with trade policy, collect revenue like what President Trump is doing, the president does not have authority to decide how this money is paid out to American people or how it's essentially used. And on top of that, the Supreme Court is still deciding whether these tariffs can still stand. And if this money is paid out to the American people, it would make it a lot harder to then take it back. So there's a lot of kind of obstacles in the way of this actually becoming a reality right now.
Taylor, you mentioned the Supreme Court still debating on whether or not this is actually a legal move the president can make. With the tariffs still in place as they are now, what's the plans for the revenue that we get for them?
So Trump made this promise on social media, and then following that, he also said once this money is distributed to the American people, the remainder of it would then go to kind of cut down on the deficit in America. So we know that he has a lot of plans for this money. Tariffs have been controversial over the last couple of months, so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out and how this money is used or not used in the long run. But I think this is something that a lot of Americans are intrigued about because, I mean, $2,000 can go a long way for a lot of people. Affordability is center stage right now. Yeah, I think this is an interesting timing too, considering, like we mentioned, tariffs have gotten some backlash, concern for how they're going to impact the American people. And yeah, again, affordability has been center stage, so I think Americans would welcome this $2,000 with open arms.
I know many people did welcome the stimulus checks when they got them under Biden and Trump. So Taylor, thank you. Interesting stuff right there.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.